Now we're going to cover graphing quadratic functions in standard form. Very quick review. Remember, standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. The a value is the direction up or down that your graph is opening. The c is your y-intercept. The vertex is the lowest part of your graph. It also contains the min and max y values, and it contains the line of symmetry, which is the imaginary line going through the center. The line of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. Here are the steps for graphing a parabola. First, you need to put the equation in standard form if it's not already there. Then you write your ABCs, graph the y-intercept, find the x value using x equals negative b over 2a, find the y value of the vertex, which you just do by substituting, graph and verify the direction is correct based off of the a value, and then draw the mirror image. So here's our first example. Y plus x squared minus 5 is equal to 2x. Step 1, put it in standard form. In order to put this in standard form, I'm going to have to subtract the x squared to the other side, and I'll add the 5 to the other side. That's going to give me step 1 done. Next, write your ABCs. The a value is the number in front of the x squared, which is negative 1. B is 2, C is 5. Graph the y-intercept. The y-intercept is our C value, which is at 5. Next, find the x value of the vertex using the line of symmetry. We covered this in the last video. X is equal to negative b over 2a. B value is 2, so we say negative 2 over 2 times the a value, which is negative 1. That gives me negative 2 over negative 2, which reduces to positive 1. X equals 1. Then find the y value of the vertex. You do this by simply substituting. Y is equal to x squared, negative x squared plus 2x plus 5. So negative parenthesis, my x is 1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 5. So our vertex is 1, 6. Our minimum or maximum value, remember, the minimum or maximum value is always going to be the y value. And for this graph, because I have a negative a, that's going to be a maximum. My domain is going to be the same as always, all real numbers. My y value we already found at 5. Now we follow the rest of the steps. We graph the vertex. We graph the line of symmetry. And then we draw the mirror image. Always go off of your line of symmetry. I'm going to zoom in to make it easier to write and easier to see. How far are you from your line of symmetry to this point right there? Well, I know I'm only 1. So however far I went, I do the same thing in the opposite direction. Go 1 space to the right. If I go 1 space to the left, I go 1 space to the right. And that is where your mirror image is. So our graph will point down like this. Remember, it's a U-shaped graph, not a V. Now, we're not going to solve the equation to figure out the exact zeros, but we're going to try to graph it as close as possible. Because I know my a value is 1, that means I'm going over 1, down 1, over 2, down 4, over 3, down 9, and then you have the mirror image. So if I went 2 to the left, then I'm going 2 to the right, and if I went 3 to the left, then I'm going 3 to the right, and you can finish drawing your graph. Put arrowheads on it because it's going forever. So the graph should end up looking something like this. You don't need those arrows there. I put those for descriptive purposes only. All right, here's the next one going in the same steps. First, we need to put it into standard form. It's already solved for y. We just need to rewrite it. Y is equal to. Notice I didn't have to change anything, just rewrite it. Then we write our ABCs. At this point, we can graph the y-intercept. The y-intercept is going to be at positive 1. So I'll go down and fill it in. Our y-intercept is at positive 1. So y-intercept here is at 0, 1. Next, we can find the line of symmetry. Remember, the formula is x equals negative b over 2a. So we have x is equal to a negative 6 over 2 times 3. Negative times negative gives me a positive, so that's equal to 6 over 6. X is equal to 1. So our line of symmetry is x is equal to 1, and our vertex has an x value of 1. Next, I need to find that y value. In order to find the y value, I just substitute. So I know that y is equal to 3 times 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus 1. And that gives you y is equal to negative 2. So now we look if we have a minimum or a maximum value. Because I have a positive a, then I know I'm going to have a minimum value at y is equal to negative 2. At this point, we can start graphing. We already have our y-intercept. Now our vertex is at 1, negative 2, right there. We know that our imaginary line, the line of symmetry, goes straight through the vertex, and we can graph one side. Now I look and see that my y-intercept is 1 step away from the line of symmetry, so I draw the mirror image. And it's going to look something like this. Our domain is always all real numbers, and our range is going to be y such that y is greater than or equal to negative 2. Remember, we can also write these in set notation, so that would be from negative infinity to positive infinity for the domain, and from negative 2 to positive infinity for the range. All right, one more. I would strongly suggest you try doing this one on your own and then coming back and seeing if you can get this right. Now our equation is already in standard form, so we can jump right to writing the ABCs. The A value is 1, the B value is negative 4, and the C value is negative 5. Next, we can graph that C value really quickly. Our C value is negative 5, so our y-intercept is at negative 5. Then we can find the line of symmetry. X equals negative b over 2a. That gives you negative 4 over 2 times 1, which gives you positive 4 over 2, which is simply a 2. So now we know our line of symmetry is x equals 2, and the x value of our vertex is 2. Plug it back in to find the y value. Y is equal to negative 9. So that's the y value of our vertex. Do I have a minimum or a maximum value? Because my a value is positive, I have a minimum value at y is equal to negative 9. So now we can graph that vertex and finish the graph. The vertex is at 2, negative 9. I have my line of symmetry going through the 2. And now I need to graph the mirror image. Well, look, if I'm 2 points away, line of symmetry, then the mirror would also be 2 points away from the line of symmetry. And it's going to look something along these lines. Remember, it's going to be U-shaped, and it's going to come up and look something like that. Whatever you do to one side, you do the other. It should be basically a mirror image. Now, our domain is always going to be the same, all real numbers. Our range is from our minimum value, and it's going up. Y such that y is greater than or equal to negative 9. And if it's in the other format,